On a warm summer morning in June 2014, a highway maintenance worker was doing the most ordinary job imaginable, mowing grass along a rural road in Geneva, Wisconsin. He wasn't looking for anything unusual, he never was. But then he spotted them. 2 suitcases, abandoned, half swallowed by the tall weeds growing along the roadside. He nudged them aside and kept moving. He had no idea what was inside. Later that same day, a passing motorist noticed those same suitcases still sitting there. But something was wrong, as they were swarming, absolutely swarming with Zeich and with flies. He didn't touch them. He called the police, and what officers found when they opened those cases would reveal a monster hiding in plain sight, a man who had spent years prowling the darkest corners of the internet, hunting for victims, under the username Mr. Handcuffs. This case takes place in the United States in the summer of 2014. When officers arrived at Northcote Road and cracked open those 2 suitcases, what they found inside was devastating. Curled within each one was the body of a woman. 2 victims, 2 suitcases, dumped on the side of a Wisconsin highway like they were nothing. The medical examiner's report would make clear just how different the circumstances of their deaths had been. The first woman's remains were in an advanced state of decomposition, suggesting she had been dead for many months, years, possibly well over a year. Her body had been partially wrapped in black plastic garbage bags, and her wrists were bound tightly behind her back with rope. The second woman was in far better condition. She was found nude. A length of rope was still looped around her neck. A red ball gag was fastened in her mouth, held in place by a collar. Both had almost certainly died by asphyxiation. Investigators secured the scene, cordoned off the roadside, and began what would become a deeply complex and 2-state murder investigation. The question now was simple and agonizing. Who were these women? Detectives turned to missing persons databases, and within days, they had their first identification. Fingerprints from the older victim matched a report filed out of Minnesota. Her name was Laura Simpson. She was 37 years old, a mother of 7 from Farmington, Minnesota. Laura had last been seen alive on November 2nd, 2013, in the city of Rochester. Her mother had reported her missing 3 weeks later, on November 22nd. Laura had struggled with personal difficulties in her life, but those who loved her described her as warm and kind-hearted, a gentle soul. Police traced her last known movements to a hotel, the Microtel Inn in Rochester. When investigators visited on June 12th, the hotel's records told a story. Laura had checked in that November night, alongside a 52-year-old man. His name was Stephen Zeich, and Stephen had checked out alone the very next morning. A warrant was obtained. Investigators descended on the hotel room. Forensic teams combed through every surface. Meanwhile, a parallel investigation was already underway into Stephen himself. What they found painted a picture of a man living a double life. Stephen Zeich, 52 years old, lived in West Allis, a suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On the surface, he was unremarkable. A licensed security officer, quiet, kept to himself, and neighbors had nothing particularly alarming to say. But Stephen's past told a different story. He had joined the Milwaukee Police Department in 1989, serving as an officer for 12 years. His career ended abruptly in 2001, following a disturbing off-duty incident. A sex worker he had brought to his apartment fled, half naked and terrified, after Stephen restrained her. She told investigators that she ran when she heard him retrieve a pair of handcuffs. Stephen denied the assault, but admitted to hiring her, a direct violation of departmental policy. Facing dismissal or criminal prosecution, he quietly resigned in August of 2001. After that, he faded from public life, but privately,